Welcome back to Simply Trade Tips with Hammer and Heels, or otherwise known as I'm Renee Chuichiarelli, and I'm with Julie Parks. As always, we are going to leave you with a call to action to help FIO figure it out. This is Julie's acronym, in 5 minutes or less. So, Julie, what should we cover today?
So Renee, I liked how we were going through our tariff chaos thread and kind of pulling on those tips for everyone. Maybe today, let's focus on work sanity, because I think folks can use that more readily. And maybe we start with the first tip is to define your boundaries. And we think about that in ways of making sure that you're doing the work that you think you should be doing and letting others know when you can schedule them in. Renee, what are some tips on how to deal with boundaries? How can folks implement that?
So I always used to use different tools like the Task Manager in Outlook or OneNote, because as we know in the trade business, and especially today, we have 15 actions every 15 minutes, right? So I'm always prioritizing the actions, and these tools are helpful because you can put timelines, dates, you can check it complete. So I love to use tools, and I know that, you got to consider your schedule. Like I said, what's the priority?
Absolutely. And setting your goals, right? So the second tip maybe is to, find joy outside of work. Find something that you love to do that is yours and your own, that pulls you away and pulls your mindset away for a little while. Renee, what's your thought on how folks can kind of implement that?
I think finding peace, is important. This is a little different than what we're going to talk about our third bullet, which is taking care of yourself. But finding joy is different, Julie and I decided. But like, for example, I like to go to the ocean. I like to go surfing. I like to be in the water. That's how I find joy. It brings me peace. So that's one thing I think and I know you like gardening and jewelry. Everybody likes something different. So you got to find what you like that actually brings you joy.
And the thought is, guys, that draws you away from needing to work because you've scheduled in that surf time, like Renee said, or you've scheduled in that gardening time. You got to get some peace in your life because the chaos is going to just continue. And then maybe our third tip is, like Renee mentioned, it's a little bit different. We define it as taking care of yourself, which is you and your person, not your family, you. So Renee, what are the thoughts on how we can do that?
Well, I always talk with someone outside here in my condo, and they always tell me cuídese. And I had to look that up, which basically is Spanish for take care of yourself. So I really love that term. And if we just say it in our mind, we know we need to take care of ourselves, cuídese, right? But, one thing is taking care of your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul. And how do you do that? I mean, I do that by getting sleep, by nutrition, maybe some mindfulness. So it's a little different, like we said, than finding joy, because joy is something we're doing that brings us peace, and taking care of yourself is something you're doing that, gives your body the energy, right, to keep going. That's my theory.
All right, folks. So your FIO, your action item, your call to action to help you figure this one out is you need to do one thing in any one of these three categories. Define your boundaries, find joy outside of work, take care of yourself, make that doctor's appointment, do those things. We'd like to hear from you about one thing that you were able to change in this chaotic tariff environment.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie, for the FIO and the call to action. I also invite you guys to get into our community Trade Geeks on our website. And, let's continue the conversation. Tell Julie and I, Hammer and Heels, what you did. What did you do to take care of yourself? What did you do to find joy? Did you set a boundary? Did you block off your calendar Monday morning for time to read all the executive orders?
Exactly. Love it, Renee. Thank you.
Thank you.